It's the start of a new year, which means the start of a new contest prep. It's showtime! Okay guys, so anybody who has been following the channel for quite a while will know that whenever I tend to do contests, bodybuilding shows, that I do video logs and blogs documenting that prep. The next show that I'm doing is the NABBA North Britain 2016, which I believe takes place the first weekend of May 1st. As of today, we're looking at a 17-week prep time. So in this video series, I'm going to document my progress week by week, showing how I'm going to turn myself from fat ass into lean muscle mass. Now, you don't have to be getting ready for a bodybuilding contest to enjoy this series. You might be cutting, you might be bulking, you might just be at the gym doing your own thing. This series is just here really for a little bit of information, a little bit of entertainment, and to track my progress as I get ready for this upcoming season. Summer bodies are made in the winter, so let's get started. First up, macros and calories. Right, before we get into the bulk of it, I'm not one of these idiots that you see in the YouTube comments just trolling. Cause you know I'm loving it right here. L-I-M-P, the fucking shreddy. Who's afraid of carbs and who's dropping carbs and is dropping carbs quicker than Monday Night Raw is dropping in the ratings.
You know it.
Every single show I do, and anybody who watches the channel regularly will know this, I always diet on high to moderate carbs all the way through contest prep. I will start carb cycling a few weeks or a few months in, having a high, medium and a low day. So some days I do go low carbs, but the majority, if you average that out over the span of, say, if it's a 3-day carb cycle, or if you average the carb intake out, I'll be having at least a moderate amount of carbs. So my macros for starting this prep, which I've actually been doing for the last week or so, are as follows. Protein around 240, carbs around 400, fat around 40. Now I say around because I always give myself a little bit of a range. That protein could be anywhere between, 230 and 250. The carbs pretty much will always be around 400, it could be 390, 395, 405, 410, but I always like to stay pretty close to that. The fat, the maximum I'll be having is 40. I won't be eating any foods for fat intake. I prefer to keep carbs higher, fats lower. So things like nuts, peanut butter, all that type of stuff is going to be taken out of my diet for this contest prep, and instead I'm going to be getting fat from meat and eggs, and that's pretty much it. Am I saying that you should do this? Nope. Just bear in mind, this is my contest prep and I'm sharing with you guys what it is that I am doing. If you have any questions though, just shoot them down in the comments below. That comes to 2,920 calories with a split of around 33% protein, 55% carbs and 12% fat. I'm currently weighing 210 pounds. So now that you know what my calories are, now that you know what my macros are, I'm going to run you through what I will actually be eating day in and day out. Now, before I actually go over this diet, let me just say that this is a typical or an average day. I won't be eating like this every single day, but this is a very good idea. If someone asks me, Adam, what do you eat in a single day, or how much do you eat in a day, this is going to be, on average, what I'm having. As I start carb cycling, the amount of carbs I'm having in certain meals will change. So I'm not going to go over the quantities. If you're that concerned, you can look up the quantities on Google of the food nutritional values. But this is what I'm having, the food groups and the food choices that I'm going to be having. So breakfast is going to be a bowl of cornflakes, a bowl of Rice Krispies, or ground rice. Protein source is always going to be eggs or a protein shake. So next up, the next 3 meals are going to be carb sources, all 3 rice and some kind of meat. For simplicity, I normally go for 3 rice with 3 ground turkey breasts. This is because 1 pack does make for 3 meals. So for simplicity, if I'm going to cook it, I'll cook it all in 1 batch, and then I just eyeball it where I'm dividing up between the 3 boxes. The same with the rice, I'll cook that, weigh it out raw, and then I eyeball it up. By the way, the majority of the food that I cook and the way I track it, I normally do it raw. Some food I do cooked, but for the majority, it's raw. So then after training, it's either maltodextrin, dextrose, waxy maize starch, some type of carb powder with either branch chains or a protein shake. Now the further into prep I get, this is the thing that varies the most. When carbs start dropping and hunger levels start rising, I pretty much eliminate all liquid calories from my diet. So this is things like protein shakes and carb drinks. However, on high carb days or days when I feel, full, I don't have that much of an appetite, I'll always put these carb powders and protein powders in my diet. And especially at the start, in the first few weeks, the first few months, you know, the carbs won't drop low enough, my hunger won't be bad enough where I need to be eating food. Then, last meal of the day is normally either boiled potatoes or sweet potato with, again, some kind of meat. So that's pretty much 5 solid meals with a shake in there after workouts. And I always prep my food the night before just so it's done. I find it easier this way. Prep it all up, and then the next day I just put it in the microwave, warm it up, the food's done. I'll be dividing my macros out pretty evenly between the meals, with the exception of fat, which is usually a breakfast meal. Sometimes I'll have a protein shake for breakfast, and I'll have like eggs as the last meal of the day with no carbs, and have the higher fat at the end of the day. Like I say, it changes depending on how I'm feeling, but as a rough sort of typical average, this is what I'm doing. Supplements, let's go and take a look at what I'm using. So this is the bulk of the supplements I'm going to be using pretty much throughout the entire prep. Excuse me. Things may change as time goes on, but this is pretty much it. And as you can see, the majority is Protein Dynamics. There's a few My Protein products in here as well, but for the most part, it is Protein Dynamics. So let's take a look closer at what each of these things are. Got a fat burner, CLA, Alcar, multivitamin. That's just another tub of CLA. Then we've got pre-workout, pretty damn good actually. I think I've got a review of it somewhere. Definitely check it out if you get a chance to. Now this is probably one of my favourite supplements of last year. Protein Dynamics is a brand I only started using last year, so early on in the year, and I've swapped over the majority of products I used to use of My Protein for Protein Dynamics, and this is pretty damn awesome. I use it intra-workout primarily, but I do use it other times of the day as well. It's pretty much a branched chain and glutamine mix, so it's perfect for, you know, intra-workout, post-workout, and on a morning. I used to take branched chains and glutamine together prior to cardio, or when I first woke up. Sorry. Used to mix them together from My Protein, but now I've got this. I don't ever really do that anymore. I just use that. It's much easier, and it tastes pretty damn good. This is like, it's a Hawaiian punch flavour, so it's like sort of got a tropical. It's really nice. So if you, like I say, this is just what I'm using. You don't have to use it, but you know, I'm just going to show you what I'm using, and this is it. We got some just glutamine there. I had that laying about. If I do need it, you know, then I'll use it, but I'm not sure if I'll need it because, like I say, I have this here. That's the main protein source that I'm using now. It's the DynaPro Anytime Whey Protein Blend, but before I start using that tub, I want to just finish off some of the whey protein concentrate. Cheapest one you can get in the UK now, and I think you can get 3 bags, 3 1 kilogram bags for 30 quid. Couple of good flavours there. You got cheesecake, and this one here is very nice, and for a whey protein concentrate, mixes very, very good. DynaPro Mousse, this is pretty much going to replace the protein dessert and muscle mousse that I used to use. I still do use some muscle mousse because you can only get like the strawberry and chocolate flavour from Protein Dynamics. Hopefully add more flavours to it, but I do occasionally use muscle mousse, but not so much in contest prep because the carbs are higher than that. So I tend to just stick with that or normal way, but I wouldn't use that every night either, just when I've got, you know, a really craving for dessert. And there's waxy maize starch, which we'll be using as my post-workout carb, but I've also got dextrose and maltodextrin, but like I say, I don't really have a preference. I just use whatever I have available. And I've got some of this here from My Protein, which is just a little bit of creatine. I get that one because it's flavoured. I just had it left in the house. I don't always buy flavoured because quite often I mix it with a protein shake or something like that. But just drinking that by itself is very nice. That's the blue raspberry flavour. And another My Protein product, which I would recommend to absolutely everyone, are these right here. It's the flavour drops and the flavour powders. That's a banana mass cupboard stock full of them. There's a ton of flavours you can get, and they're awesome for adding into things like ground rice, porridge, if you use unflavoured protein powder, if you put them into yogurt, things like that. Tastes damn good, and you only have to use a little bit as well. So that's the supplements in a nutshell. I will probably be adding or taking things away as the prep goes on, but to start with, that's what I'm using. Okay, so that was my supplement plan. Like I mentioned, if you want to pick any of them up, you can head over to cheapproteindiscountcodes.co.uk, where you can find out my supplement reviews and get discount codes if you want to try any of those supplements out or add them to your diet and supplement plan. Workout. Going to keep it brief here because I'll be talking more about individual workouts as the series goes on, so make sure to subscribe to keep seeing these videos. But again, as anybody who regularly watches the channel knows, my typical training split when I'm getting ready for a show is a 6-day split, hitting every muscle group twice, doing a heavy and a high volume day. Cardio will be used every other day, using a sort of moderate to high intensity, and I reckon I'll probably build up to around 40 minutes a day. But to start with, it'll just be, you know, every other day still, but maybe 20-25 minutes to start, and I might do morning walks as well. I won't go out my way to add morning walks in, but if I wake up early and I've got time to do one, then I'll just do a morning walk, 20-30 minutes, nothing too intense, just a little bit of a walk on the morning. And in a nutshell, guys, that is the start of my contest prep. Like I say, this is going to be a weekly series, so make sure to subscribe so you're always getting the latest update as part of my transformation. You don't have to be a bodybuilder, but if you want to join in, leave your comments down below on each video, week in, week out. Let me know what you're doing. If you have any questions about what I'm doing, you know, again, just put in the comments down below. I'll also be uploading meal photos and days of eating on my Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, so you might want to check those out. The links are in the description below. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and I hope to see you back for the full series. I'm looking forward to seeing what change I can make and where I'm going to place this year in the competitive season. That's it for today, though. Until next time, keep clanging and banging.